Gorgutz. What is the meaning of this?
It's time I got me some Eldar skulls. I hear their Farseer got a pretty skull.
Just stay clear of the Titan, Ork. Try to rob me of my prize, and I'll rob you of your limbs!
You's too worried about that Titan, Crull. Makes you blind. Maybe I should destroy it for you. Keep your mind on important things, like winning.
The Titan is the only prize worth having. Take another step towards it, and I will drive my thumbs into your greasy eye pits!
The Imperium boy smashed you good. You's weak. The new hammer, Crull, is me. My war is unstoppable. What you got? Nothing.
I have enough men to seize the control gate. And who controls the gate controls the fate of this battle!
Again with the eyes.
Again with the eyes, and keep count, because that's not his only reference to eyes in this episode, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, who couldn't love a great tide of green orcs smashing into everything? So, you're going to be seeing a depressingly small amount of that, because there is an oversight.
Mm-hmm.
By which I mean a couple of oversights that makes using the orcs extremely difficult this mission.
Cross me and die.
By which I mean you can look up at the upper left right now and see that I started with a substantial amount of requisition and power. You want to guess how much requisition and power the orcs start with?
Not much at all.
Fucking 0, as a matter of fact.
Which, I'm technically correct on that, yeah. For all the people who may have forgotten, the gimmick of this particular stage, for both Order and Disorder, is that you can switch between the two factions. And so they both have their own objectives to win the game, and it's possible to lose the game based on, the other faction losing their objective, I think.
Engaging the enemy!
Technically, yes. See, here's another thing with that. There are two primary objectives for each one. For Chaos, it's to destroy the Land Raider convoy and to seize control of the gate, which is the pulsing marker in the top part of the minimap here, right?
Yeah.
If the Land Raider makes it through the gate, both sides lose, okay?
Yeah.
Whereas the Orks have two objectives and a hidden third objective.
Yeah.
Take me to them, that I may render judgment. Show me the enemy.
The objectives for the Orcs are to destroy the Eldar base, which can be completed by either side, which, as you can already see, I'm going up the Eldar lane with Chaos, because, frankly, like, with their better resource cap and everything, they're better suited for it. The overall suitability for the job is about the same. The Chaos have a possessed squad with a bunch of horrors, and the Orcs have two knob squads, which is just, punch of kill everything. But the Orcs cannot replenish their losses, because they start with no fucking resources at all.
Yeah.
The thing is that the other objective that the Orcs have is to kill Farseer Taldir. Here's the deal, and I found this out the hard way. If Chaos kills Taldir, the Orcs instantly lose, and you lose the ability to switch over to the Orcs. If Chaos loses, you just lose in general. So that's kind of weird.
I can understand it. To get this map to do what it's doing already must have taken some bullshit on behalf of Relic. It must have required a lot of squeezing.
Oh, dude. we are not even started with the weirdness that this map serves up, buddy. So, you may have noticed I repelled a harassing Eldar attack there with my Chaos Space Marine squad. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. No. Before I get to that one, here's another weird thing. Those two Vipers right there.
He's got a list.
One of those two Vipers, if they are engaged by Orks, specifically Orks, is scripted to fast attack down to the lower level and begin attacking the Ork emplacements. If Chaos attacks, they will stay where they are.
Oh, dear.
So, that's another bit of weirdness. And then the harassing attacks that you're seeing, they have started already. You actually spawn into the to the level with one already spawned in, and they will continue the rest of the map no matter how much of the Eldar emplacements you destroy. You literally cannot stop them for any reason. By contrast, you will notice that the Imperial Guard have not harassed Chaos at all. They will not until Chaos throws the first punch, and at that point, they will continue in the form of Hellhounds until the vehicle depots are destroyed, at which point they stop. So, there's already just a bunch of weirdness going on that makes it really obvious that Chaos was designed first for this particular mission, even though the outros canonically make it really clear that Crull is just the eternal Khorne failson.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely exists to make Gorgutz look good, and that is how it is.
Yeah, he's a super jobber.
Yeah, he's the Chaos jobber, and you know what? That's fine. Like, people need to do their jobs from time to time. But it just to actually make this work and be watchable from an Ork side, like, you kind of have to do this incredibly scuffed play where Chaos does like 85% of the work, and it does so on a this is what I'm talking about, by the way. These harassing attack squads from Eldar, they will never stop. You'll only change where they spawn at. So destroying completing this objective pushes them back, but they'll never stop spawning, which is something you can accomplish on the Chaos side. If you destroy the Imperial Guard installations, then, they stop coming. So, yeah, and over here we have the one unit that basically makes it almost entirely infeasible to push forward as Orks. There is one unit that makes it almost entirely impossible. Can you guess what that is?
Yes, of course. It's the fire prism.
Of course, it's a goddamn fire prism.
Shouldn't have even had to think about that. I should have been screaming fire prism from the very start.
Yeah, it's a fire prism. You'll notice that yeah, I'm pushing forward, I'm making good progress, but what are my resources at? I've cut halfway through the 4,000 requisition I had, and I'm only gonna keep spending it. This has happened before, and it will happen again. And if I was using the Orks, I would be sipping very, very closely at what little I had. Like, the way you have to play the Orks here is you...
It's such a struggle.
Well, yeah, like, you don't even start out with any Gretchen, so you have to build a Gretchen, which is 90 requisition to start out with, right? And then you capture a strategic point, and you immediately build a listening post on it, because that is 100 requisition that immediately gets refunded upon completing the listening post. So you use that to basically continually build listening posts and hopefully get an economy going before the Land Raider moves up and ends the level in 30 minutes. The way you solve this in practice is you play Chaos just long enough to kill the Land Raider, which removes the time pressure.
Yeah, that's like when I play this particular mission, my go-to is essentially rush down the Land Raider. I'd never actually considered using Chaos to rush down literally everything on the map, and then just letting Gorgutz walk through. I'm actually quite inspired by that. I would switch to Gorgutz and do it, like, properly. It's just like, but that's actually... When you're doing it, I'm just like, wait a minute, that's actually a really good idea. Why didn't I think of that?
If you kill the Fire Prism, you can probably pull it off. But the Fire Prism is basically unavoidable because it's like its artillery cannon has such a humongous range.
Yeah, he's a big danger boy.
And it is placed right on the crossroads. There's pretty much nothing you can do to stop him from halfway wiping out at least one Nob Squad. And you do not have any tank busters to counter it. You have to build those tank busters. Build those tank busters with what resources?
Yeah, with your big oodles of nothing that you've got raining from the sky.
Yeah, like you don't even have any power. So even in terms of just bootstrapping yourself up, you also have to deal with power. Which, again, Chaos doesn't have to do, because Chaos starts with 4,000 power.
You gotta wonder, like Gorgutz turns up to the battlefield and he's like, right boys, get starting building. And then like this knob just goes, I'm sorry boss, but they were selling all of these figurines. And it's just like, he's just like this one orc that's just like got all this old VTuber archaeotech. And it's just, I really like this one, she's got like a really cute scream when she plays the horror games. And Gorgutz is just like, what?
I could actually see that, like, if there was one particular VTuber that screams a lot and wears a lot of red. Like, I'm not up on my VTuber lore, but if there's one like that, that is heretofore the Orc VTuber.
She wears red, that streams just go so fast.
Yeah. The stream goes really fast and she screams a lot, or they scream a lot when they play horror games.
But it's really just Khan the Betrayer, but he's like got one of those filters on the webcam.
Dude! That is definitely the correct way to look at this. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Enemies! We need enemies! Take us to battle! I am not your bootleg! Show me the enemy! We played too, but now, do not trifle with me, worm!
And now that's why Core Berserkers are finishing the mission for you. We've gone full circle.
Well, yeah, there is one other tank here, but it's only a Falcon Grav tank. It's nowhere near as scary as the first one.
Yeah, it feels like they put that in the wrong order.
Right? Yeah, there is an entire Eldar base up in the corner here that you could ostensibly destroy, and I did on a number of my other playthroughs. And then I realized that it does nothing. It does nothing. Like, the only thing it accomplishes is slightly changing the position that the harassing squads show up in.
I've loved this.
And by the way, there's one more gigantic fuck you coming up to the Orc rush of this entire level. Like, I want you to look very closely at how I'm apportioning my forces. It's worth noting that I have been incredibly on point with my micro here.
Yeah, this has been clinical.
Yeah, and it's because I spent altogether too much time analyzing and dissecting this mission. But, you know, like, I specifically am choosing my CSMs to go forward and tank for the horrors during this sequence.
Yeah.
Why is that, I wonder? All shall become clear soon, dear viewer.
It is as though 1,000 miles cry out in pain. Sanity!
We have all of these turrets, which requires substantial, effort to put forward, and we're moving those guys out. Then we have Weird, just the horrors, which I've been protecting like babies this entire time. Why am I doing it that way, I wonder?
Comes to this. Facing my last battle with filthy aliens like yourself at my side, rather than valiant men like Stern.
Then appreciate the universe, human. It possesses the strange ability to laugh in the face of our misfortune. Good luck to you.
Prepare yourselves, men! Show these aliens the meaning of valor!
Indeed, sisters. Stand strong. Show these humans the meaning of dignity.
My units were entirely vulnerable during that cutscene. I lost the horrors, and because I didn't get the CSMs back far enough, I also lost them. The reason I left the melee back is because I'm smashing into Eldar, and I wanted to preserve them.
See, I didn't know it did that either, because usually that activates at a much larger distance when you when you do it. But you wanted to get those turrets out of the way.
Yeah, it does that with the Orks too.
Yeah.
It does that with the Orks too. If you come up with your knobs, and your knobs are in there, your knobs and Gorgutz die in the cutscene, and you have to start from scratch. Which, by the way, you don't have any resources for.
Oh, and there's an avatar of Kane too.
And then there's an avatar.
just hanging out. Oh man, I forgot about this.
This is the last little bit that doing it this way actually helps, because the avatar is scripted to attack the faction that initially engages the Eldar. So in a couple of my playthroughs, we would go forward, and like we would spawn the avatar because Gorgutz was getting his shit kicked in right here. Then the avatar would go straight down my throat for the rest of the mission. Now he will be bothering Crull instead. Right now I'm basically microing my melee to go and attack as many Space Marines as I can, so they don't kill Taldir, because if they kill Taldir, remember, the Orks instantly lose.
Yeah, so she's bulking you a lot, but you gotta let her go. You gotta let her continue to do it.
Gotta let her do her thing.
Oh my god, this is just, yeah.
This is so crusty.
This is some major pain, especially considering just how many units they've gotten to use to like flay you alive.
I just hit delete. Like, I want to risk it, so I just hit delete. During all of that time, the Orks have accumulated 650 requisition and about 300 power for me to use.
And now you gotta try and get out there and do something with it.
Yep. We get out there, and we make the best of what we've got.
And we're still racing the Land Raider.
We're still racing the Land Raider. We use a couple of waypoints, get people moving.
Orks follow. Let me at 'em.
The most critical thing to do there is the war track. The war track is, I think we've mentioned this before, but like the long-range bomb launcher that it gets there is unique in that it is not a replacement. It is a straight upgrade to...
Yeah, it's just added on, slapped on, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's just added on. So, you know, when you're dealing with a bunch of lighter infantry like Eldar, throwing bombs at them really helps.
Yeah, and you're still shooting. You're just knocking them sideways as you go. It's really good. Like, it's one of the few ways the Orks get a pretty good early advantage with some of their vehicles, is just the war tracks. Disruptive power on infantry is pretty tough shove.
Yep.
Alongside their maneuverability.
That is definitely the way that I use them here. Like, the war tracks are the tip of the spear, and they take a number of hits, sure enough, but by the time they get to whatever's going on, the things that I could actually have die, and I care about, my knobs, they're under exactly zero threat.
Let's get 'em! Time to get stuck in, boys!
I can just visualize just you in the zone here, like sweat running down your face as your hands are going everywhere, which is like so funny to me. In comparison, the way I beat the missions with Order in this particular map mostly just involved planting my back against the side of the map and shimmying up.
Yeah.
Like, just going around the map.
I will admit, this entire time, I was clicking my tongue to Payday 2's song Ode to Greed.
More blood for the blood god!
Oh yeah, speaking of Failsons, by the way.
Dear. He's back up and running. It did say he
No,
returned.
no.
Oh, that's why he's saying he returned, because he's fighting the Avatar
He's going to
in his
sit
base.
there and just... on
Holy
the Avatar.
Holy shit.
Just strutted
Oh
all
my
the way to his
god.
base.
It's kind of scary, you know. This, like... You've definitely, like, I don't think I've ever put myself in that sort of a situation. Like, I've beaten this game, like, more than once, and I've done it with Chaos and the Orks without getting to such wild extremes, but it's just like, you're doing this, like, by the seat of your pants, and, like, you've made yourself your own jet fighter out of, like, garbage. You're like, this is, like, the most orky way to have done this mission. You're just flying along, your engine's on fire, everything's just sort of, you know, falling out. You've got, like, a bird in there, and it's just screaming for some reason. We don't even know why you've got it in there, and you're just trying to get through desperately. Yeah, like, this entire thing is just madness. Absolute madness.
It gets more Gorgutz. It gets more Gorgutz than this.
I can tell. It's going absolutely, completely insane.
Yeah?
It seems impossible, but I promise you, it gets more Gorgutz than this. I briefly forgot what the hell I wanted the Gretchen to do.
This is a bit low better, because you literally can't reinforce your dudes.
I wanted a couple more Orc resources.
Orcs are so resource intensive to start with, too,
Yep.
and they're the one faction that doesn't get any resources to play with. It's just like...
Yep.
Every time I think about this, it's like, why was this never patched? This game got patches, and for some reason they never went in and fixed that.
It got lots of patches! Like, they basically declined to deal with this.
Yeah, it was all like, just like, you know, tweaks for like multiplayer and stuff like that that never went, oh yeah, there's a thing in our campaign that's broken. Oh well, the game, you can still finish it technically, so who cares?
So many oversights, so many big O oversights. Just like, oh yeah, and by the way, we're still spawning Eldar
Yep.
on, like, a bunch of craters. Cool, thanks.
Teldir's just like throwing things out of the craters.
Boss? Who is getting shot?
Oh yep, here comes the Land Raider.
There's the Land Raider, I don't have much time!
Oh my god, this is amazing. Come on lads, we've got to get there right now, because somebody bought themselves an android.
Here we go.
Lord almighty. I'm so concerned about it that I'm microing my shooter boys to handle the pursuit for me while I push forward the units I actually care about.
Is the Avatar dead now? I don't see any movement.
Yeah, I think the Avatar got killed by Chaos Lord spam.
He got killed by the Infinite Crull, because the Chaos Lord does get bonuses to, like, durability and stuff. I think, like, the faction that's not being controlled generally gets, like, made a bit more durable. I think.
They are more durable, but they take, like, a 50% damage penalty.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
Just gotta get here. Oh my gosh, it's like the Land Raider is just so close and you need to kill Teldir.
About this time I realized that I'm not going to kill Teldir in time if I don't micro my war tracks, because my war tracks keep knocking her. And she's invincible while she's knocked.
Yes, that's like one of the biggest things is like... It's so great.
I'm out of requisition!
I just love how this is all just like... One of the wings is missing now, you're actually starting to like corkscrew and you're like, oh, I'm gonna land it! Like, you pulled the landing gear out now, sorry, and like, they extended the landing gear, and it's just like, they don't have wheels, it's just like, It's just like pizza cutters.
You want a deep friggin' cut? This is like that SWAT Cats episode where T-Bone isn't around and Razor has to fly the ship. This is what this shit is.
You've definitely skinned the teeth that.
It's not done yet. Like, this still gets more Gorgutz.
Just waiting to see. She dead? She dead. No, she's not.
She's still around.
She's still there.
Gorgutz has to handle it. I'm moving the war tracks over.
Oh, fuck. Because I'd only have to get in the general area and it's over.
Yep. The war tracks are taking last cannon fire from the Land Raider.
Oh my god. Go. Run, 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 run.
Chaldier's down! And it's Gorgutz time, baby!
Just by the absolute skin of the teeth.
Boss, there is!
Gorgutz! The Titan is mine! Do you hear? Mine!
Use a Gretchen kick! The Titan is mine! I got here first! I control the gate!
Don't be a fool. Even if you have the Titan, you don't know how to operate it.
The Titan is worthless to me! That's why I'm gonna pound it into scrap!
You can't! The Titan Dominatus is one of the greatest war machines ever constructed!
Wrong, you git! The greatest war machine is the Ork War! We don't need no damn tinker-traption to be strong! We is strong! Listen to them! Screaming with one voice across the whole planet! War! War! War!
You'll regret this, Gorgutz. I swear to you, I'll rip the flesh from your bones and eat your eyes! All remaining units, charge the gate!
It's definitely speeches like that, which are why everybody loves Gorgutz.
Like, I was so happy that I managed to put him in a situation where that speech just sells. That speech sizzles because he got in there less than 10 seconds before the Land Raider arrived.
Skin of the teeth. I meant to do that.
Absolutely, positively Gorgutz. He's like, I planned this whole thing. None of this was luck. I'm just strong. This is the power of the Ork Wa. I was so happy I was able to pull that shit off.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you do the chaos side of it, because the chaos side of it should probably only be like a 5-minute video in comparison.
I will spoiler it a little bit. Through some of my experimentations, I definitely found ways to just, like, completely defang the worst parts of the Imperial side. It'll basically just be a matter of my APM to see how quickly I can execute this ridiculous takedown plan that I have.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, the next time still will be Gorgutz's finale, because I've left him on such a high note. I need to give him his canon ending.
Yeah, and you want to, like, walk away from that mission and just not look at it for a little bit. I can understand that.
Also that. But yeah, until then, my friends, I have been Cool Guy.
I have been the last RoboCuy.
I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves.